ask. Find out where are the assets of the house? Are you a joint owner in those assets? Because in India, you don't have something called community of marital property, which means, like I think US has that, which means that assets built during the tenure of a marriage are split half and half. In India, the asset belongs to he who pays for it, in whose name the asset is. So if you have assets built during a marriage, ensure that your name is on the asset in whatever proportion. Okay, so women need to know what are the assets. Is her name on the assets? And she needs to start taking more of an interest in the flows of the money. What happens typically if both are working outside the home? So all women work. All women work inside the house. Some of us also work outside. So for those who work outside, the burden is far too heavy because typically, Indian men share. They help, they don't share. They help with the work, but they don't share. So sharing is very different.
Not all.
So, well, okay. Present company exempt. Okay. There's kids, then there's no time.
Yeah.
The one job that the man takes happily is money management, and that the woman gives because she has no time. I'm saying, let not the laundry be done for a week, let not food be done for a day, you order out. But this is not one job that you give away. You have to start asking questions. And if your asking questions starts to get heckles up, please treat it as a red flag. Okay, if your asking of questions on the dinner table, on anything to do with assets, is causing people to frown at you or there is an uncomfortable silence, I would take it as a red flag. I have to look after my interest also. So I'm saying women need to really
be part of the financial
in most
discussion.
homes it's like तुम्हें पता भी है कि कैसे
आप बताओ मुझे.
Exactly.
So you tell me if I don't know. So let me flip this. Okay,
it's this uncomfortable
so let
conversation.
me flip this. I'm saying I am the one who looks after money in my house, extended family. Okay, so my husband gets a free ride. Okay, he's like, I'm saying, the luckiest guy. Tax bhi bharti hai, usko pata hai how to do taxes. So what is my duty of care? Again, as a woman, what is my worry? That if there was a sudden untimely death, which I get hit by a truck, how are they going to figure out what I have invested in and where the money is? So I have a system, and it sounds really bad, but I think everybody needs one. I call it, if I die before you, file. Okay, if I die before you.
Yeah.
It's a file. It has everything. Assets, ownership, passwords, where is the key of the locker, what is the... everything. And I update passwords in that. So that, we don't know, literally, we don't know. Our wills are done. So as a woman who looks after, my duty, my fiduciary is to my family because I love them. So even if after I have gone, I want to look after them, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing a man can do, no? So that's what I ask the men. When I do these sessions, I'm saying, and I have to tell you, the response is very positive from most men. They want to, the women just feel afraid.
Yeah.
So you're talking about death and everything, right?
So
it's taboo usually, so that's why. Yeah.
There are many people who think that agar will banayenge to mar jayenge. I'm telling you,
say?
If you think that this is not among educated people,
no, I'm
not
saying,
true,
what is this problem with death?
Yeah.
That Mahabharat famous story, Yaksha asks, all the four brothers have died because they couldn't answer Yaksh's questions.
Yeah.
And then, so Yudhishthir then comes and he says, what is that one thing that, what is the best kept secret? What is the thing which is most surprising? Is that we all know when we are born that we will die, but we pretend as if we won't. So it is that I don't understand this emotional outburst.
See, my grandfather worked in the finance ministry in government of India from independence and post-independence then, right? I mean, with the British government and then with the new Indian government. 30 years, 25 years after he died, or 30 years or whatever, he invested 25 rupees in my aunt's name in 1963. He passed away. Nobody knew about it. The government traced her in the 2000s. And said that, listen, we've been trying to find you. There was no address. your father didn't come back to us, he passed away, there is no death certificate, but that money, can you imagine? This is a
Wow.
government.
Yeah.
They don't shut it,
Yeah.
but they traced
So
her.
unclaimed deposits are worth thousands of crores. So people buy these things, they don't put a nomination. So I'm just saying that we have to remove taboo about both money and death.
Yeah.
I don't understand this problem of discussing death. I think it's a very healthy thing to do.
Because it's also this nervousness people have that if they put it all down in paper, they won't be able to change it. And there are many people who say, "Baad mein, abhi kya jaldi hai?"
But I don't know,
But-
will you see tomorrow morning? I don't.
Especially
say
after
with-
COVID.
Absolutely.
COVID or no COVID?
No, after COVID, I think people realized
Yeah.
that you can die when you're in your 30s.
You can die whenever,
Yeah.
even before COVID.
Even
It's a
before-
peanut gone down the wrong way. I mean,
Yeah.
why? Look, life is fragile and it's very strong. So it's literally, I mean, then you get into the whole spiritual conversation, which
So
you
make a file.
You live every day as if it's your last.
So you make a file.
Yeah.
You put down
You put down
everything
your,
out there, your assets.
A very
your
good way to do this is to make a will. Because when you make a will, the annexures will have your assets.
Okay.
At least for yourself, you should have it. People have money lying in 10 different banks.
Yeah.
And they're saying paise nahi hai. So this is an exercise I get them to do.
And they
Please
don't
consolidate.
And don't believe weird WhatsApps which tell you that invest in 10 banks. I know it sounds bizarre me asking you, but that WhatsApp has gone viral.
Which really send it to me.
Yes.
I'll rebut
which
it. I'll
said-
make a column out of that.
Yeah, which said that, I mean, people laughed at it. Those who know finances laughed and said, what nonsense is this? But there are various advices now like
Yeah.
this which go on. People become experts on Instagram, on Facebook and everything that invest in 10 different banks, you'll get a lot of money. Instead of putting that one corpus into one bank, put it in 10 different banks. Now, you can go about telling your elders that nahi, but कोई भी ज्ञानी है वहाँ बैठ के social media पे and वो WhatsApp viral, people start believing in these things then.
Yeah.
And women especially who have kept away, squirreled away a little bit of money and don't want to tell their sons and daughters if their husband has passed away, then start believing in this, that let me put it in different banks so that if my son or daughter-in-law or daughter or son-in-law get to know about this one thing, I still have the safety of the others.
So look, different people will do different things in terms of getting themselves secure. And that's really up to them. So
Okay.
it's really, money has its roots in both fear and greed.
Interesting.
And then you have to, very quickly for me, money stops being money. It becomes a psychological family issue. And unfortunately, it doesn't change generation to generation. The fight over assets that we see, at my age, my cohort has parents whose intergenerational transfer is happening. And the stories just don't stop.
Yeah.
So very quickly, and the issues are not money. It is that child was favored, or it's really the emotions behind which surface, they manifest in money.
Yeah.
And so then you have to deal with it.
Women have to know that.
Yes, absolutely. And so the other question was, what about the young people?
Yeah.